Hello and welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with me, P.I. McLeod, and day 3694 here. Look, you get a free Ultron cover for getting to day 3700. It's only going to take over 10 years of logging in and playing to get there. You can do that, right? Okay, but let's get to some things that are a little more realistic, shall we? Like crashing a Titan. That's what we're doing today. Yeah, it's my procrastination Sundays, as I like to do them, but a little earlier in the day, I had a moment of time, said, hey, let's knock this out now, maybe 6 hours ahead of time for me. Yeah, look at that up ahead, up above there. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur are now in the game. I know we had Devil Dinosaur before, but if you stop your belly aching for a moment, you'll notice that we get Moon Girl finally with it. Am I a Moon Girl fan? No, I don't even know much about her. I've seen that they have their own show on Disney Plus, and I think that's pretty cool. Because honestly, I would like more diversity. It kind of, lets gives a more audience for the younger players in MPQ to run on in here. I mean, because all the younger kids that might play this game are totally into Big Wheel and classic bad guys like that. No, but this is something a little more younger and newer, and that's kind of cool. Like I like it when we add a little more fun in a game like this. I know we've had a couple of fun characters lately, but 2024 is upon us, and maybe we'll get back to some more of the vintage stuff that some other people really like to have, and I don't mind that either. I'm still waiting on Red Skull. Just saying, Red Skull any day now, please. Anyways, what are we here for? Crashing Titans, I said that. Yeah, tomorrow we will welcome these two to S.H.I.E.L.D. Day 2 style. You know that. I mean, if you've been paying attention to the channel, and I'm assuming you have been, because thank you for your support, as always. First crash of the day, or what, this week? If you notice they're the same bad guy both times, same opponent, I hate when they do copycat stuff. Like, can you please put just a monochrome of effort into it? Just one different fight from the other. Don't do the same thing back to back, but I digress. We'll play with the hand we're dealt. Because what am I going to do? Am I going to bellyache myself until nothing happens? No. That's why we make videos, right? Because then they can see our distaste. Crash the Titans against 4-star Talos. Or Talos, depending on how you like to pronounce it. I like to say Talos, kind of like the shows, the movies did. So this guy comes into MPQ quite a few years back now. He's been in MPQ for a while now. And yeah, I think he came into the game, I'm pretty sure, right along the time Captain Marvel's first movie came into play. I'm pretty sure. It was like somewhere around there. With that being said, he came in with a very low reception. He was pretty bad. At one point, he was so bad that he was considered one of the worst 4-star characters you could have out there. And yes, we are aware that 4-star Flapton, aka the Falcon Captain America, is an option. That the original Emma Frost 4-star is an option. That at that time Namor was pretty bad off. There was plenty of characters that were bad at the time, but Talos was quite a stinker. He had this shtick, and he still kind of does, but bear with me, with his black as a passive that says, hey, he's going to do extra match damage per AP point he has greater than you in your strongest color. So if your strongest color is red and he's got more red than you, then for every red he has more than you, he does a percentage more match damage. Now that can grow pretty exponentially. Here's the problem with that equation. They programmed it in such a way so that it didn't calculate that until after the match was made. In other words, no matter how much more AP you had than your opponent, Talos would never tank, despite his factor, his match damage factor being an actual it could actually get really strong, but it would never be factored in until after the match was made. So then the match is made, and oops, it's too late. We already had someone else jump in front to make that match, even though Talos might have been stronger with it. Nowadays it's a little different. He's been buffed and retooled in a different direction. Talos now has his match damage works across all 6 colors. So as long as he has, for every AP he has more than you in that color, he's going to do more match damage, and it's going to work higher and better, which it did this before, but just bear with me. It's going to work actually even better for you if you are shapeshifted at the time. Shapeshifted, you might say? Yeah, he's a Skrull after all, right? His purple allows you to shapeshift. And, well, the old Talos, you had to cast the purple, it would make these trap tiles, and you would shapeshift into that opponent. It didn't really do much more than allow you to do more match damage, and it had an extra side effect, but I digress. Now he starts the game. The game starts with him shapeshifted, and he puts trap tiles out immediately. So he is already getting a greater advantage right off the bat. And then finally his blue was this old stun that was okay. I mean, it was a stun. It was probably one of his best factors. But nowadays, it's actually pretty good. It's like 7 blue. Will stun for, what was it? I want to say it's like, I think it's 5 turns. I want to say. I could be off. I'll have to take a look when we go into the game. But then it makes a countdown that when the countdown expires, it stuns all the unstunned enemies out there, I should say, for an extra turn. So there's a potentiality to have a whole team stun for at least a turn because of his blue. He got retooled really well, and he's actually a good match damage tank now. But hey, let's not let that deter us. Even though he's actually usable, it's still the computer we're talking about here, and we are the player. We always have a leg up because we can make better conscious efforts, no matter how hard their match damage is. So let's move on into Hulkling. Now, if I'm going to be honest here, I would rather play Talos in this matchup instead of playing Hulkling, because I think Talos is a lot more straightforward and easy to play. Just match the enemy's AP colors as best you can to make sure that you stay ahead of them in match damage the whole time. Get some blue and stun them for a while. Easy peasy. But we're playing the other side of this equation. Hulkling, which, let me take off this boost. I was using that for a moment earlier. Let me show you what we're going to do with Hulkling, or at least what we should focus on. He's got 3 skills, and they're all really different from each other. Yes, they do kind of go together, but they're not obvious right off the bat, okay? First off, a really neat thing is his green is only 4. Nice and cheap. Does damage for a cheap amount. It is a small amount of damage, but hey, it's only 4 greens. What do you expect? But it does extra damage for each smash countdown tile on the board. Well, he makes those whenever he casts this. So your first casting of it isn't going to have any of those on the board. But then cast it again, and now you have those on the board, right? You get 2 of these 6-turn smash countdown tiles out there. If there are 3 or more of those on the board when you do this, he destroys all the smash tiles on the board and the 18 surrounding tiles to them, dealing extra damage to the other enemies, but then it ends your turn. So you it's up to you. Do you think that extra cast that you do would actually end the fight or put you in a better position? Then go for it. But if you don't want to end your turn just yet, don't cast it that extra time. Just count your countdown tiles and make sure you're doing it right. Next up is the King's Decree, which actually goes hand in hand with his green for a reason. I'm going to pump it up to 5 so you can see that's real difference. For 8 yellow, just maybe a hair pricey, you select a special tile, but mind you, it has to be a special tile. You can't select any tile. You have to select a special tile that exists on the board. The tiles in that row and the above and below rows, the enemy special tiles get changed into basic, not destroyed, not matched away or whatever. They just get converted. So in other words, you're not triggering Beta Ray Bill's effects or your own Polaris effects, okay? They get converted. And then, excuse me, and then you fortify any friendly special tiles in those 3 rows we described. And then you empower any friendly strike, attack, and protect tiles by 100%. They get doubled. That's pretty neat, right? So for 3 rows, you're really changing the makeup of the board there. As a passive, whenever Hulkling fires an ability, remember, his green only takes 4 to cast. He converts 3 of your team-up AP into 1 of your allies' strongest colors. So, on the plus side, if you're not using your team-up AP for anything, you could get more usable AP. And it could be some of your strongest AP in the game. So maybe you have, like, I don't know, maybe you have one of your 5 stars with you, like Shang-Chi, for example, and you cast an ability with Hulkling, one of his greens, right? You just turned 3 of your team up into one of Shang-Chi's potential strongest colors. That's a very cool trade-off. Also, friendly team-up tile matches deal 40% more damage and gain 2 extra team-up AP. Yes, this does stack, by the way, with Okoye's Wakanda Forever. So the extra team-up damage that she does actually gets 40% higher. And she is obviously going to make use of that 2 extra team-up AP. I have it at 3 for a reason, though. Basically, if I'm just going to be fair here, I'm not relying on this ability all that often. There's not too many times in the game where I'm like, oh, I really need Hulkling to come on in here and team up with my Okoye or whoever else I'm playing with. It's nice when I have to use them, but there's so many other matchups I like to use instead of this. Let's see. And then finally, Metamorphic Adaptation is purple. This is a useful ability, but you got to be conscious about what you're doing. You can't just throw it out willy-nilly, aka the computer sucks at using it. Here's what it does. You get to choose one of 3 different colors: red, yellow, or purple. You might think to yourself, why not green, yellow, or purple? Isn't that Hulkling's colors? I didn't make the rules. Don't ask me. It's just how it is. If you choose a red one, you get a 5-turn red countdown tile and it becomes Into the Fray. Yellow is a yellow 5-turn countdown and it becomes Hardened Spikes. Purple doesn't get a countdown. Instead, he goes airborne for 2 turns and it becomes Aerial Annoyance. For red, it basically is just Hulkling's going to be more of a tank now for a bit. His powers and matches deal 50% more damage. So yes, your cheapy green 4 AP ability now does 1.5 times more damage. When that countdown tile is expired or destroyed, he heals for a bit of health and it returns back to normal. The yellow might be one of my favorite modes to use with them because this is something that I think we're going to abuse on here if we can help it. While this tile's on the board, that countdown we're talking about, he takes only half damage from matches and abilities, and then deals 508 damage to the enemy team when damaged by matches or abilities. So he's going to basically just smack back for little bits every time he gets hit. When the countdown is expired or destroyed, he heals a bit of health and ability turns back to normal. Finally, the purple, which is a nice everyday use. Like if you have the purple to cast this and you don't know what to do with it, just use his purple if you can. You really can't go wrong with it. All he does is he creates a nice attack tile and steals 6 AP among the enemy team's 2 strongest colors. Why did I emphasize that 6? Because this ability only costs 5 to use. You just gained AP overall. Okay? So when Hulkling returns from being airborne, he also heals more health than normal too. So you're airborne, you're probably out of their reach, right? Very few enemies in this game have a way of touching you when you're airborne. And you stole more AP than where you started. Oh, not to mention you have an attack tile. You know, it's small, but at least it's working for you while you're in the air. So his purple's pretty sweet. But hey, if they don't have a lot of AP at the time, go for red or yellow. You know, depending on what's going on, you have options. Personally, I think his purple, using it on yellow, is really good if Talos is doing a lot of match damage. Reducing the damage by half and smacking back for little bits, I think it sounds really good. Anyways, enough talk. You understand what the game plan is. At least I think you do. We have 2 different ways to play this because Talos is in both crashes. So without further ado, let's get into it. Again, this is a one-on-one fight. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn on the character effects. And I'm going to retreat because I'm going to see if there's an opening thing for Talos or Hulkling. Okay? Yeah. I got to like heal him up. I don't care. We got health packs. Let's go. There we go. We get to see the opening animation. I like how he turns into a business suit sort of guy when they... Wouldn't it be cooler if they like made a model for each of the characters from him to turn into? I know, that'd be a lot of artwork. Hey, Lewis. How you doing? Good to see you, man. First time chat. That's awesome. Thanks for joining. It's all good. I just assumed you said hey all. It's all good. Okay, we're gonna start this out with a nice fat green match because hey, now we have 4 green to play with, right? But remember, his yellow says whenever you use an ability, you convert 3 team up to one of your allies' strongest colors, right? I only have 1 team up. So let me wait till I get enough team up to make use of that, okay? Let's just get some team up. So now we have 6 team up on the board. He got rid of some of my green. Now remember, Talos does have this nasty thing where whenever his shapeshifted trap tiles are on the board, he steals 2 AP in any of the shapeshifted target's 3 strongest colors. So my colors being green, yellow, and purple, he's stealing those while he goes. And he starts the battle with these. This was part of his buff. He used to suck, but now he has this where he's actually got passive stealing right off the bat, which is of course feeding into his match damage buff. His little passive power here. Anyways. That's okay, Lewis. I appreciate you coming on through and joining me in the chat here. It was really nice to see you. I'm gonna just go into red and green here. Now we have enough green, right? Right. Okay, cool. So let's smash them up. A little bit of a blurry image there. I think my phone hasn't played Hulkling in so long that the artwork isn't saved. That's funny. Let's get another... do I do more team up? If I match this green up, it's going to leave him a match 5. And that's not smart. We don't want to give the computer a match 5, right? So, let's do that right there. Oh, God. Yeah, I haven't used these characters in a minute. It probably also doesn't help that I had a newer phone recently. But it's okay. See, it's adjusting. Now I'm stunned for 3 turns. Boring. Get to watch Talos have his way. Aw, there goes my smash countdowns. And a lot of my AP, too. That's annoying. Wow, and he got match 5s out of this. I think the computer is really bent on winning right now. Well, I'm out of green, I'm out of purple, and I'm out of yellow. That's not good. Well, no way to go but up. Let's get some green, because I need to create AP. And take some yellow into some team up. You can stop shapeshifting anytime now. We don't need... Oh, see, look at that. 2,000 damage. He's getting a lot more damage per match right now because he has 15 black and I have 0. So anytime he matches a black, I'm going to feel that. Like, big time. This isn't boding well. So, we need to figure out some way to mitigate this. I could match this black right now and stop that, but it doesn't mean he's going to be done. He could just match some blue and hurt me that way. It wouldn't hurt nearly as much, though, so I guess we'll give it a shot. And now we're helpless again. I think we lost. He had a nice string of cascades, a match 5, and some other things that just happened in his favor. So, I think we're done on this one. We'd have to get some lucky hits in here now for this to pull off. Let's see. I'm going to take this green, and hopefully we can make some more AP. of the upcoming ability we're using. There we go. Now we see it in better fidelity. He doesn't have the blue to stun me yet, which is good. If he matches a black, I'm probably dead. So we might need to do something with that. Oh god, he's got 21 yellow and I have 0. That will kill me if he matches this. So let's take that now. Okay. I see a cascade, do you? Yellow into red, into black, into team up. That's beautiful. Okay, so from there we can... Let's smash again. Use those good communication skills of his. We will turn this around, it looks like. Let's hit that yellow right here, just to fortify our tiles. Plus we get to see the animation, right? I mean, that's the fun part. And then we're going to use this purple on... What did I say before that I was going to do? I'm going to use it on yellow. That way I only take half damage from anything he does, and I'm smacking back for a little bit. Oh, look. I cast a couple abilities. So he went ahead and turned his team up AP into usable AP. AKA good communication skills. Hey, look who pulled it out. We did it again. Whew. That was pretty rough there. Talos looked like he was going to have the upper hand on us, but once again, you just got to persevere. Now use the fact that it only costs 4 green to cast that ability, and hence you're going to turn your team up AP into usable color AP. That really made a big difference there. But we're going to do it again, and I want to see if we can focus more on the red or the purple version of Hulkling's purple. Sound like a plan? I think it does. That's just me. Here he goes again. Let's see how much different this plays out. Well, for starters, we got a match 5 right off the bat. We'll just take that. Thank you very much. Ooh, do I take the match for... You know what? Let's try this. Let's go purple into red. So now we're actually stronger with our matches, right? So then I'll take this. I'm thinking... I want a cascade. Let's see how the numbers look like. I was hoping some of that would fall apart, but it's okay. So now that we have our red countdown up there, this will do more damage. 3,600, a lot better than the 2,400 it was doing. It only costs 4 green, so I try to give it enough thought. You know, the idea that it is only 4 green, I'm not expecting the world out of it. Not a lot of good matches out there. I guess I'll take this black so he doesn't have a little bit of buffer in case he casts more abilities. Ugh. Do I take the green? It gets rid of one of my countdowns. Or I could take the yellow. That's rough. I think I'll take the yellow, actually. Here we go again. I don't think we're ever going to see him look like himself during this fight. I don't have enough board shake to make that happen. I don't see any good matches either. I'm going to take the green. I can't help it. I need to get some sort of green rolling in here. There we go. So I got a little healing from the Into the Fray countdown going away. Alright, so now we're going to have enough green to smash them, right? Ah, I got rid of all my communication countdowns. Lame. I guess I'll take this now. Keep smashing away. And let's take some purple. Let's see if we can get up in the air. Kind of want to see see the AP theft in action. This guy likes to steal AP all the time. Let's see how he likes it. Take the team up. That's when we can stockpile for. Oh no. Ah boy, here we go. It's always scary when the computer gets a string of free turns. Okay. I want some more purple, but I'm not seeing it readily available. I guess I'll just take the green, and maybe we'll turn our team up into purple. Hopefully. Find out, right? I turned it into green and yellow. So if I cast green again, I'd probably kill him right now. I'm trying to hold off just so I can get some of this purple. I'm going to get the flight rolling. Ah, am I sealing my own fate? I did not see that coming. It's okay. I didn't look at his colors enough, honestly. That's my bad. I'm trying to be picky about getting all the animation possibilities to show. Hey, doesn't matter though. I'm going to have my purple. We're going to get up in the sky, like I said. Okay, let's go. Let's fly. Okay, look at those numbers. 28, 18, 14, 6, 15, 18. Okay. I got a little higher. Uh-oh, excuse me. Yeah, it basically drained a couple of his colors out. That's really good AP theft. So now that that's done, let's go back to yellow. There we go. I blame my coughing on the weather change. It is winter time, you know, I'm just saying. Okay, and now we're going to win. There we go. 2 Talos down. Easy peasy. Hulkling doesn't have a hard time with it per se. It just looks bad because it doesn't take much for Talos to get good match damage and stunning rolling. Talos is actually pretty good nowadays. Is he meta? Nah. But is he good? Oh yeah, I wouldn't turn my back on him. That said, Hulkling is pretty decent as well. He's got cheap abilities. He's got a way of turning his team up into more useful AP. He's got defensive capabilities, AP theft. He's got tile management. Hulkling's got a good toolkit as well. So I wouldn't ignore him. He's actually very useful. And that is Hulkling's Crashes of the Titans. And that's it for me for now. We're going to be back tomorrow, though, because we got to welcome Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, that duo, into S.H.I.E.L.D. For day 1 and day 2, which of course includes Riri, Mockingbird, and that decoy that they partnered up with. So we'll get to go through all that stuff together. Okay, thank you very much for joining me, Lewis. I appreciate the first time chat, and I will talk to you guys sometime soon. Well, actually, within 24 hours, I think. Later, everybody. Good night.